Alright, we have an ongoing crisis in the UK. A crisis that falls under two factors, one of which is we have a shortage, and the second to that is we have people that are so desperate for clout. And what I'm talking about is Prime. Prime so far has become one of the biggest hysteria in the UK. Everybody is going so crazy over it. And I always keep scratching my head to know why. Why are people so obsessed over Prime? One thing I know about is that the UK is the only issue where we have a low stock and supply of Prime. Everywhere else it seems that Prime is just still in the shelves of supermarkets ready to be sold to people. But when it gets ready to be sold in the UK, everybody is just rushing to get their hands on Prime. It's literally like when going back to the hoarding days of coronavirus where people are just somehow stocking on toilet paper and pasta. And it's pretty nuts. But I'm going to show you some clips of some people who are holding these Prime products when they get stocked in supermarkets and just kind of see for yourselves of what the ongoing issue is.
Oh my god!
This is
well, I'm dead.
You're only allowed one bottle of each, by the way. Who took them out of your hand? You're taking fucking 4 or 5 bottles, you idiots. Excuse me. What's that? I didn't give it. I gave you one of these flavors.
So, seeing from those videos, you could just see that Prime affects everybody. It doesn't really matter if you're a kid or an adult, you're still getting onto it. But one thing I have learned is that if you are a kid, you just like to have Prime because it looks cool and you just like to flex on it on your TikTok or your social media. But if you're an adult, it seems that you do something that's very different, reselling it and or scalping more or less, putting it up for about double the price or even triple the price. But there is one person that does stand out from all of this. If natural selection was a thing and if it came down to pointing at someone who is really hitting the wave of Prime, it's Wakey Wines. Now lots of people have been reacting to Wakey Wines recently and I kind of resisted talking about him until lots of people were putting him in the spotlight. But basically Wakey Wines, his real name is Mohammed Abdul Nazir, and basically he just does TikToks of him holding Prime bottles or Prime energy cans for extortionate amounts of money. I think the hydration bottles go for about £20 or £25, and the energy cans would go for £100. Just ridiculous prices really. But yet we still have a bunch of people in society still hitting down his shop, going to his store, and him filming himself in front of his TikToks doing the same thing, doing his catchphrase, where do you come from, what made you come down to Wakey Wines, what did he come for. Most of them will just say Prime because that's what's really going right now. And then he would say what's the best shop in Wakey, and tells Abdul to get closer to the camera, and bingo bingo gala bingo, and it's just basically that on repeat every single time, and he does this for every single video. Now I'm just going to show you one of his videos because I'm not going to watch too many of them because there's just so much to even look through. It's just basically the same shit every single time, so yeah, I'll just kind of give you an idea of what he does.
Hi Grandma, you alright?
Yes.
Where have you come from, love?
Manchester Wythenshawe.
And you bought our first can for £100. Come close, Abdul. This lovely grandma from Manchester has bought the strawberry watermelon can, and there's the receipt, £100 she paid for it. You're a good woman.
Oh yeah, you're a good woman just for spending £100 on Prime? Wow, you really inflated my pockets with all that money. Like, honestly, what a con artist. Now, I don't actually believe that she would have spent £100 on Prime. I mean, I'm sure elderly people are more responsible with budgeting their money and keeping their monies in their accounts, so I don't technically believe it on face value. But if she has really spent £100 on Prime, then God help us all, man, because it seems that everybody is getting onto this sort of game of clout. Now, besides all of that, you're probably thinking, why react now? So, I actually watched Penguin Z0 talk about Wakey wines, and he reacted to a video from Fat Mima, really talking about Wakey wines, talking about Muhammad Abdul Nazir, and really kind of looking at his past. It kind of just shows the moral take he has, because from his past many years ago, he was convicted on drug offences. I think it was drug trafficking or supplying Class A drugs, and he was sentenced to 8 years in prison. He did say he served 4 years in prison during that time, and now coming out, he's opened a shop and everything like that. So he seems to have made some reasonable changes, which seems to be good. But if he was selling drugs, and being convicted of that, this is much more mindless. I wouldn't really say it's deemed to be a crime, but certainly he's putting out a warning out there to people not to get onto this clout, because it seems that's what people are really getting to, from selling drugs to selling clout. And he seems to really take the same moral views of like taking more money out of people's pockets for selling cans and bottles of Prime. And it just kind of just shows everything kind of folding together, really. But I'm not going to go in too much details about the video that Fat Mima put out reacting to Wakey Wines, because there's quite a lot. I think there was also a video he did where he was doing a song that had the paradox metaverse thing going on, where basically they were on a stream with iShowSpeed with the fake Ronaldo controversy that went on, and he was promoting a scam, which turned out it was, and basically the whole paradox metaverse value just tanked massively in the market. It was kind of hilarious. So it did seem like obviously what Wakey Wines is doing, he's kind of going from scam to scam. But anyways, I feel like Prime has become the symbol of clout, the symbol of douchebaggery right now, that people are just want to get onto their famous influencers. KSI has been, reacting to this quite a lot, and he says this whole thing is very unfair. He does talk about not making money from Prime or starting the company, which I'm not so sure to believe. But if he's saying he's not making money from it, then that's kind of what I have to believe. But yeah, that's about it. See you later.